Hello friends, Those Back Pages here. I hope you're well. So, as you can tell by the title of tonight's episode, a little The Who influenced, if you will. I might change it. I'm recording this before I name it, but I'm gonna go with something like Meet the New Year, same as the old year. Kinda, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. The Who song. So a couple things happened this week of interest on, I guess, all sides of the spectrum. The first being earlier this week, I went to my local Target that I've always mentioned that's within walking distance, and I've been going there for 15 years now. And of course the card section was empty as expected, and I had to pick up a few other things, so I was walking around the non-card area of Target, and lo and behold, the person who does the stocking of the cards walked up to me and said, "Hey, you're late. You missed it all," from the side. And I turned and I recognized her, and I said, "Well, no shock there." We had a little chit chat, and she said that 15 people were waiting when the store opened up. They were waiting for the store to open up, and they bought everything. It happens. Am I happy about it? No. That's, it is what it is. That's the way it is. You can look at it a few different ways. I've seen a lot of people on various social medias trying to shame these people. Like, oh, somebody posted a picture of guys waiting for the vendor, and man, if you're one of these people, you're a D-bag type of thing, and over the top. And am I happy about it? No, of course not. Would I like to buy my share or all of it? Of course. Who wouldn't? We're in 2021 now, and this happened all of last year, as you well know. It is what it is, like I just said. But the positive side of it, oh, I can't find wax, I want to open wax and I can't find it, and I don't want to pay X amount. Okay, well, then you're not going to open it. We've got a scenario where 2020 Prism Football, one of the big three, as I like to call them, they were offering, last I looked, but it's been a couple weeks, they were offering $60 to pay $60 a blaster. So, if these big three companies, wax companies, are willing to pay 2 or 3 times SRP, who's to blame someone to going to their local Target or Walmart and wiping the shelves? I mean, and then you see the other people saying, well, I don't have time to go here and here and there. I've got a job, I've got a life. And well, good for you. If you're fortunate enough to be working during these times, good for you. A lot of people aren't. So, $20, $30 when they flip it, 10, 20, whatever it is, as long as they're doing them, we can't fault them for it. Should we be happy for them? No, you don't have to be happy for them, but we have to carry on. We're going to be here this year, next year, the year after. The collectors are always going to be here. It's just a matter of waiting it out. And I know I've said that before, and it's very difficult to do. I understand that aspect of it, but it's going to be okay. There's always something to collect. Even just focusing on the cards, there's going to be something to always collect. Try to think outside the box, yang when they're yanging type of thing. I always preach that, and I always practice it too. And I am always learning, and I'm always happy to be learning from you guys, from other people. Always observing, listening, filing it away type of thing, because it's important. Just to keep your own, involvement in the hobby. I mean, because it's very easy to get priced out. It's very easy to feel despair and F it, I'm done. I've been to that point a couple times myself. Everybody has. That's not a newsflash. The other thing that happened this week that was pretty big news is that a 52 Topps Mantle PSA 9 changed hands for $5.3 million. I think it was $5.3 million. So, and the same copy sold maybe 3 years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago now, for a little under half that, 2.3 or something. I don't remember. You know, that's not in my ballpark. I mean, I don't swim in that end of the pool. So, but it's important. Again, it's important to pay attention. I mean, you know, it don't just say, oh, it doesn't really affect me. That, you know, that stratosphere doesn't really have anything to do with me. Because, you know, okay, literally no, it doesn't. But in the grand scheme of things, it's all relevant. So of course there's going to be, you know, this, oh, fake sale, this, that. You know, I saw somebody comment that, you know, why do the guys that are buying all these, why do they dress like D-bags? And, you know, he's making a reference to Vegas Dave, who, you know, I don't know him, but I know he bought the 2009 Trout Super 2018, so 3 years ago, I think it was. And he paid $400 for it. Yeah, he paid $400 for it, and then, you know, sold it last year for $3.8 million, something like that. So at the time when he bought it, we were all like, "What are you, an idiot? You know, why would you pay that much money for one card, one modern card, blah blah blah." I mean, you know the spiel. It's not something that is again, if you were around back then, things were different back then. Things are different now. So again, we're going to be okay. Collectors are going to be okay. You just have to think outside the box. Now, I've been thinking about this a lot lately as well, that as everything has changed, it's very easy for us, those of us, not everybody, but those of us that are old school collectors, have been doing this a long time. Well, you know, not to do the, oh, back in my day type of thing, but, you know, again, this is, you know, this is a $20 bill. You know, to me, this is a lot of money. No, not a lot, but not a little. But to the new people entering the hobby, it's nothing. I mean, as you know, they'll think of $100 on something is not a big deal. Whereas if something is $100, I have to give pause and actually consider, well, do I really need it that badly? But again, I mean, they're always going to be making more of these. They're making more of these all the time. And they're not making any more of these. So once these get opened, they're gone. Once this gets spent, you can go earn more. They can print more. You know, not getting into that whole aspect, but the game has changed. So you see a lot of these, and I see a lot of this as well. I'm sure you do too. Why would anybody spend, you know, X amount of dollars on, you know, Johnny Common Smith? You know, you see somebody, I'm showing a stash of Johnny Common Smith silver prisms, and they're very excited. It's like, oh, I've got all these, you know, I'm really, really high on this player. I think he's going to be great. And then, you know, the old regime, the old guard, or, you know, I guess what I said before, they're calling the old heads. Well, you know, for that money, you could have bought one Mickey Mantle card or one fill-in vintage player here. But again, the new guy who bought all those new silvers, Johnny Common, whatever I called him, he doesn't care about the old player. Maybe he will in the future, but right now he doesn't care about the old player, and that's okay. So I think the mindset of the new people coming in, if they want to call themselves investors, that's fine. If they want to call themselves investors, it doesn't matter. But I think it's important to keep in mind that, like I mentioned with the $20 bill, so let's say, he spends, just for argument's sake, $1,000 on Johnny Common Seed silvers, and Johnny Common Seed doesn't pan out, 99% of everybody doesn't pan out. We know how that goes if you've done this long enough. A lot of the old regime will be like, ha ha ha, I told you so, you sucker, you lost, you sucker. And it might be a learning experience for the guy who invested in that somebody that turned out to be a nobody, because I know I've done it before, as far as buying somebody I thought was going to be good, but it wasn't. Billy Roll rings a bell. It happens. It's part of the game, part of the learning experience. But the thing is, I don't think, whereas for those of you like myself that, $100 is a lot of money, hobby money at least, I don't think it matters. I guess maybe I'm saying that not correctly, but I don't think it affects that person as much. Like if they invest, $1,000 just for money's for amount's sake, and that player doesn't pan out, all right, well, oops, I tried, didn't make it. Kind of like, I guess, kind of in the same vein as somebody who's willing to spend $500 on a box, rips it and gets $30 worth of cards. Oops. C'est la vie. Life goes on. March forward type of thing. And I don't think that they're, the young people, not to categorize them as young people, but I don't think they're as affected by it. Whereas if I spend $1,000 on a card or a box, and I open the box, or the player on the card bombs out totally, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. But again, that might be the difference between the old regime and the newer people that are coming into the hobby. I mean, if you're coming into the hobby in the last 12 to 16 months, 8 to 12 months, you don't really know any different. You know what I'm saying? You don't, not that you don't comprehend, but the way they used to be, they're not anymore. We're in 2021 now, is a few weeks old, and it's not going to be really any different than 2020 as far as the hobby goes. Now, I think a big tell for this upcoming year as far as retail wax goes is we're a couple of weeks out from 2021 Flagship Series 1. And there you see Flagship 2020 Series 1 box right there that was gifted to me from a friend. But, this flagship product, Series 1 and Series 2, but for the most part, Series 1 is the product that Topps always makes the most of. They make more Series 1 than anything else they do during the year. And it's logical because it sells itself, really. I mean, a lot of people get overly concerned, like 2021 is going to have this rookie, that rookie, this. It doesn't matter. It sells itself. It's baseball season. It's the new year. Back in the day, you used to get it for Thanksgiving. I clearly remember opening 87 Topps in November of 86. That's how it was back then. But Topps prints more Series 1 than any other product they make for the year, and rightfully so. And that's not even taking into account, you know, the factory sets and all that other stuff. We can go over that another time. I've gone over it before. But when 2021 comes out next month, just a couple short weeks from now, I think it's going to be a wipe situation where people just buy it all. And again, it's it's not a product I would recommend doing that for. There's not going to be a shortage of it. It might take you some time to find it, but I think if you wait and you bide your time, you'll be able to get some. Now, you might have to pay a couple dollars over SRP, and that's fine, just to open something. But you're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be looking at $50 or $60 blasters. That's just silly in my opinion. So those are just a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about talked with you guys about. And I really appreciate it. The support that I've gotten from you guys has been tremendous. And I hope that 2021 is better for everyone.